Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about how can Izzy retain his title against Dricus du Plessis. And I think it's an interesting fight, especially seeing how Dricus du Plessis fought against Robert Whittaker. Because before that, he really wasn't patient. He was very chaotic. He used a lot of energy in a lot of his fights before Whittaker, and that's why he would have gas out, and apparently the nose surgery helped. I don't think the Whittaker fight really gives us a whole answer on that, because there wasn't a whole lot of output on du Plessis' side to really show us if his cardio was better, or if it's just he was a more, paced fighter for that fight. And fighting Israel Adesanya, like I said, Izzy's 6'4" with an 80-inch reach, and du Plessis is, 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. 3 inches shorter, 4 inches less in reach for du Plessis. In whether, we're not really going to talk about the controversies or anything like that. He's 19 finishes. His only decision win or loss, whatever, he doesn't have a loss in him, but decision, whatever, is Brad Tavares. In a fight that could have went either way, it definitely went towards du Plessis towards the end, but Brad Tavares started that fight very, very well. And fighting Israel Adesanya, we've seen something with Izzy in his UFC career. So you talk about the Rob Wilkerson. Wilkerson obviously didn't talk a lot of crap. He didn't really do nothing. 11-1 at the time. And that fight goes to Izzy. Marvin Tory goes to Izzy. Not a lot of trash talk at all. Brad Tavares, same thing. Very, very, and you see one finish with Rob in the 2 decisions. Fights Brunson, and there's a lot of trash talk. What does Izzy do? Raises his game up just a tidbit and finishes Derek Brunson very convincingly. Destroys Derek Brunson. Then he fights Anderson Silva, and there's a lot on the line, a lot to prove, going against a legend, not trash talk. And some people say that fight's boring, and Izzy wins the decision. Fights Kelvin Gastelum, not a lot of trash talk, but the way that Kelvin fights brought out that best. And Israel Adesanya brought out that 5th round. And he wins that one. Fights Robert Whittaker. There's a lot of trash talk. There's a lot of build-up. And what does he do? He destroys Robert Whittaker in that first fight. Something that's interesting is I do think a lot of that loss is Whittaker charging Izzy, which you cannot do. And again, he does that to Whittaker. He fights you well. There's no trash talk really. In that fight, it's basically a stalemate. There's trash talk with Paulo Costa. He destroys Paulo Costa. Fights Jan, no trash talk. Loses a decision. Weird fight, different weight class. Fights Marvin the second time. There's some build-up. Marvin talking some trash to Izzy. Beats him by decision, but he kind of schools him in that fight. Fights Robert again, no trash talk. Beats him a decision, but people thought it was boring. Fights Jared Cannonier, no trash talk. People think it's boring. Fights Pereira the first time. Not a whole lot of trash talk, but they were friendly enemies type thing, frenemies. And he loses in the 5th round in a fight that Izzy was winning. And then he comes back with the trash talk again with Alex Pereira, with the build-up. And what does he do? KOs him. So we've seen these things when he fights guys like Derek Brunson, like Whittaker the first time, like Paulo Costa, like Marvin, like Alex the last time. When his game needs to be elevated, his game is elevated. When there's a lot of trash talk, besides 1 or 2 in there, besides the Kelvin fight, when there's a lot of trash talk and there's some build-up, Alex Pereira won, even, that one. Israel Adesanya raises his game. So you have to think Israel that's going to fight du Plessis is going to be the very, very best. Because we all have to remember as well, Dricus du Plessis technically could fight like Marvin Tory. He could fight a Jared Cannonier. He could fight, some of these other guys in the division. Roman Dolidze. The reason why he's going to be fighting Israel is because Israel wants to fight du Plessis. Because whatever their beef is, all of these things, Israel wants that fight. Now, something Izzy has to do fighting du Plessis, he has to make sure he keeps the distance. Because Duplessis likes to crash in. Duplessis likes to get in. And, that's one of the things he did very well with Robert Whittaker is he would let Whittaker come to him, but then he would crash as soon as he would get into him. And that's how he got the body lock. He was able to do the throw on Whittaker, and that's something that Izzy has to watch out for, is that body lock, because how Izzy stands tall. He has to be careful of the body lock. He has to be careful of those trips of Duplessis, because Duplessis is going to be the bigger guy on top of him. Izzy on the feet has a lot more weapons than Whittaker does. He has a lot more than just the right hook to the head kick. He has so many different varieties of weapons. In training with Volkanovski and training with Dan Hooker, they're going to come up with a perfect game plan fighting Duplessis. Duplessis has the high guard where he keeps his hands like this, something that Whittaker didn't do and not a lot of people have done, is gone to the body of Duplessis. You have to expect Israel Adesanya to start going to the body, whether it's with punches. I would assume it's with kicks because he's able to keep his distance a little bit better with his kicks, probably body kicks, leg kicks, and then measuring that distance for his hands. Again, like I talked about with the Duplessis, I was saying Duplessis has to strike with Adesanya. He cannot strike, after him or before him. He has to strike with him. He has to crash with him. Israel Adesanya has to make sure he keeps the distance enough. Use his knees, because knees are going to be key to victory in this one. Stopping those takedowns, stopping trying to grab him. If he can make Duplessis uncomfortable and make him use more energy than he needs to use, that is the exact thing that Israel Adesanya needs to do. Because again, when we watched Duplessis fight like Marcus Perez against the cage was able to catch Duplessis a couple of times and stun him a couple of times. Now, obviously, we know how that fight ended, but that's still what had happened in that fight. We've seen when he fought Trevin Giles. Trevin Giles had a lot of success with that in-and-out style. Kind of like a Whittaker type style, in-and-out karate style, hands low, kind of like a snake or cobra would like. And how did Duplessis win that? He was creative. When he fought Brad Tavares had a lot of success early. He had a lot of success finding the chin. And he had a lot of success putting an output out there that Duplessis couldn't keep up with at first. And then Tavares got tired, and Duplessis found his second win and kind of turned it up a little bit on Tavares. And then when he fought Darren Till was able to capitalize a lot in that second round. After the crazy, chaotic first round with Duplessis, he was tired, which we had seen before with Duplessis, him getting tired. And Darren Till was able to capitalize in the second, was able to keep his distance. We've seen what Till was able to do with his distance management in that second round. We've seen what he was able to do. His power and his pop wasn't there anymore like it used to be in his early career, but that is what it is. But we still seen what Till was able to do with his distance. And I believe Darren Till's reach is 75, so he only had a 1-inch reach advantage against Duplessis, because Duplessis has a 76. Okay, yeah. So he doesn't have a reach advantage. But still, he fought like he did in that second round. Then he fights Derek Brunson, and Brunson is able to take him down. Brunson's able to crash in on him. Brunson's able to hit him a lot. Brunson's able to get him tired. And then as Brunson gets really tired, Duplessis was able to turn it up and get him out of there. And then, like I said, we watched the Robert Whittaker fight, and, you can't charge in with somebody who does have the power as Duplessis. And again, something that Izzy has to do when he's fighting Duplessis is to get respect early. Make sure he's not getting too emotional. Make sure he's not brawling with him. Make sure he's digging those leg kicks into his legs. Looking for the body shots, body kicks, and then cutting his ankles. Because again, Duplessis is going to wanting to crash in on Izzy. He's not going to want to stand and keep that distance. He's just not going to have success doing that. Izzy has to keep his distance. He has to be offensive while keeping his distance. And he has to make Duplessis respect him. Now, Izzy cannot go for takedowns because we've seen him do that occasionally too, like against Alex in the first fight. We can't really see him do that. But we've seen what Izzy can do from the distance. He's 13-2 in the UFC. Jan Blachowicz, a different weight class. Alex Pereira was the only one, which is a fight that Izzy was winning. So Again, this fight with Dricus du Plessis and Israel Adesanya is very interesting because stylistically it's fun. Because again, if you have Izzy who makes a mistake staying too close and he stays too much in the pocket, can get caught and can get hurt. If you have, on the other side, you have Dricus du Plessis who, if he doesn't get close, if he doesn't make it a brawl, and he can't extend his combinations, he's going to get picked apart on the outside. If he can't find a way on the inside, Izzy for 5 rounds, whether it's born or not, will kick the shit out of him and hit him with body shots, hit him up top, keep his cool, keep his distance. But Izzy's going to be looking for revenge in this one because of the bad blood that they do have. He's going to be wanting to hurt Dricus du Plessis. Now, if you're an Israel Adesanya fan, you want to hope that he doesn't get too emotional while trying to do that. So, my prediction when the UFC 293 comes closer, I will let you know. We will talk about who I want to win or who I think will win. Again, this fight is very interesting. Maybe not on first glance, but if you look at it and you watch both of them fight, it's very, very interesting. There's some things both fighters cannot do, and there's some things both fighters need to do to win. So let me know what you guys think. Comment down below, subscribe, like, and comment, and I will see you at the next one. Peace.